Once upon a time in a corn country there lived a beautiful girl, and her name was Rindercella. Rindercella lived with her mugly other and her two sad blisters. Also in the same corn country there lived a pransome hince, and he was going to have a bancy fall. So he invited people from Riles and Mound to come to his bancy fall, especially the pit people. Rindercella's mugly other and her two sad blisters went to town to buy some dancy fesses for the bancy fall. But Rindercella couldn't go because all she had to wear was some dirty dags. Finally the night of the ball arrived, and Rindercella couldn't go, so she cat down and shried. As she was kitting down and shrying, there appeared before her Gary Mogfather, and she touched her with a wagic mond. Then there appeared before her a kig boach with hicks white sources. As Rindercella looked at the kig boach with the hicks white sources, all of a sudden her ruddy dags became a gancy found. Then Rindercella's Gary Mogfather said to her, "Now, Rindercella, you be home before midnight, or I'll have to turn you into a tumpkin." Just before midnight, Rindercella spaced down the rares, and just before she beached the rodham, she slopped her dripper. The next day the pransome hince went all over the corn country looking for the beautiful burl who slopped her dripper. He finally came to Rindercella's house, and he tried it on her mugly other, and it fitted it. He tried it on her sad blisters, and it fitted it. He finally tried it on Rindercella, and it fitted it. So they got married and lived heavenly after happily. Now the story of the Maury is, if you want to go to a corn country and attend a bancy fall and lull and flub with a pransome hince, whatever you do, don't forget, above all else, don't you dare forget to slop your dripper.
Ferlin has a great spiritual that we'd like to do for you folks now. Ferlin, you suppose it would bother anything if all of us joined in with you?
Well, I wouldn't want to do it unless all of you helped me.
All right, then. We're ready when you are.
On the wings of the snow white dove, he sends his pure, sweet love, a sign from above. On the wings of a dove, when troubles surround us, when evils come, the body grows weak, the spirit grows numb. When these things beset us, he doesn't forget us. He sends down his love on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow. He sends his pure, sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove. When Noah had drifted on the flood many days, he searched for land in various ways. Troubles he had some, but wasn't forgotten. He sent him his love on the wings of a dove, on the wings of the snow white dove. He sends his pure, sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a dove.
And you made it, too. I guarantee you that. I'm sure everybody enjoyed that, Ferlin. I sure did.
I did too, but I was so used to people applauding that I thought they was going to clap for us.
Well, you know how it is. The reason they didn't do that is because we're running out of time.
Oh, well, I know they
see
was
where the
doing it
old
on
clock on the wall.
rehearsals.
I see where they've moved.
Where is that?
Wow. Thank you, Ferlin, for driving by this
Thank
time.
you.
Come
You
back
had a
see
good
us.
time.
Come back see us real
I
soon.
speak well of me. If you have to lie, I'll do the same for you.
All right, Dad.
Can I leave
Thank
you with
sir.
a laugh?
Yes, by all means. Oh, goodness sake.
Ride a mile in my quad, ride a mile in my quad. If you're amused, amazed, and awed, ride a mile on my quad. My quad can haul most anything, from a beautiful bride with a wedding ring, to a biker babe, a clown and such, or a country music star with plenty of bucks. It moves real good, in traffic it's a breeze, You never have to balance, just ride with ease. It goes nice and slow through cities and towns, and on the highway you can put the hammer down. Ride a mile on my quad, ride a mile on my quad. If you're amused, amazed, and awed, ride a mile on my quad. It goes real good at cruising speed. You can get out in front and take the lead until you see the police up ahead. Then you slow it down to that speed sign you read, and you wave at the Smokies as you pass by and show 'em that the quad is a good thing to ride. Ride a mile on my quad, ride a mile on my quad. If you're amused, amazed, and awed, ride a mile on my quad. I know you like them big fine convertible cars. You like to see the sky and look at the stars. But my quad is a bigger thrill to ride, 'cause the girls turn their heads as I go cruising by, and they're always amused, amazed, and awed, just to have a ride on my quad. Ride a mile on my quad, ride a mile on my quad. If you're amused, amazed, and awed, ride a mile on my quad.
In the 1930s, while on CBS Radio, Wilf Carter wrote over 600 songs. He outsold the great Bing Crosby with You Are My Sunshine and became country music's first superstar. So here's one of his humorous songs. This one's just for fun, and it goes back to 1936. I was born in Texas, my wife in Tennessee. We had 15 cross-eyed kids, she said they looked like me. One time her weight was 80 pounds, her height was 5'4". Now she's grown so big and fat, she can't get through the door. We used to go to picture show, the Say the Ladies Fair. If I had my wife on the stage, we'd soon be millionaires. We used to go to Sunday school when the weather it was fine. When they passed around the collection plate, the kids all grabbed a dime. I leaned it on an A, holy, the preacher got excited and he cried, my salary's lost. By cracky, when I looked at him, both his eyes were crossed. He invited us over to his home along with the folks that died. I fell in love with the preacher's wife, he fell in love with mine. I leaned it on an A. He used to come a-calling, so I say I'd go to town. But I go down to the preacher's house, kinda stick around. One night he came home early, feeling not as sore. He found me loving up his wife on the Davenport. Oh, lean it on an A, oh, lean it on an Finally, when his temper cooled, he said, I think it's time. I said, all right, old preacher boy, you've been home loving mine. He said, I think we'll make a trade. I said, it would suit me fine. He'd take my 15 cross-eyed kids, I take in his 9. I lean it on an A, oh, lean about a month and rolled around since we made our trade. Me and my new wife strolling along in the evening shade. I glanced towards our little home, I looked twice, jumped and came. There was the same old preacher man sneaking back again.
Dear sir, I write this note to you to tell you of my plight, for at the time of writing I am not a pretty sight. My body is all black and blue, my face a deadly gray, and I write this note to tell you why I'm not at work today. While working on the 14th floor, some bricks I had to clear, but to toss them down from such a height was not a good idea. The foreman wasn't very pleased. He is an awkward sot. He said I'd have to cart them down the ladders in me hock. Now, moving all those bricks by hand, it was so very slow, so I hoisted up a barrel and secured a rope below. But in my haste to do the job, I was too blind to see that a barrel full of building bricks is much heavier than me. And when I untied the rope, the barrel fell like lead, and clinging tightly to the rope, I started up instead. I shot up like a rocket, but to my dismay I found, halfway up, I met the bloody barrel coming down. The barrel broke my shoulder as to the ground it sped, and when I reached the top, I hit the pulley with my head. I clung on tight, all numb with shock from this almighty blow, and the barrel spilled out half the bricks 14 floors below. Now when the bricks had fallen from the barrel to the floor, I then outweighed the barrel and started down once more. Still clinging tightly to the rope, my body racked with pain, halfway down, I met the bloody barrel once again. Now the force of this collision halfway down the office block caused multiple contusions and a nasty state of shock. Still clinging tightly to the rope, I fell toward the ground and landed on the broken bricks. The barrel had scattered round. As I lay there groaning on the ground, I thought I passed the worst, but the barrel hit the pulley wheel, and then the bottom burst. A shower of bricks rained down on me. I didn't have a hope, for as I lay there bleeding, I let go the bloody rope. The barrel being unsecured then started down once more, and it fell right across me as I lay there on the floor. It broke 3 ribs in my left arm, and I can only say, well, I surely hope you understand why Murphy is not at work today.